up?
Here we are.
Rhano and Caprice Burrell, winning their life together.
That's right.
What is that, 5th episode?
I think it's the 4th.
No, 5th.
No, I think it's the 4th.
It's the 5th. That's what this episode is about, is marriage and social media.
That's the topic.
It's been a big uproar about a certain couple. I think that was the wife. She said some stuff that some people, true feelings, but should she have shared so much on social media? It was kind of surprising to me that how many people were kind of split on it, like as many dudes, as many women were on opposite sides. So that's what we're discussing today.
Well, I personally feel like when it comes down to social media, it is definitely a tool that people use to discuss their viewpoints. I mean, right now, sometimes you may not have the platform of a real, interview on Diane Sawyer or one of these news channels or on a talk show. And honestly, if you can get access to be on a social media platform with a person who has more followers than you or your own, it gives you a voice. Social media gives you a voice. And people let it all hang out,
Well, that's the whole point of this show is, should you let it all hang out?
I think you should.
No, if I said, hey, I'm not having enough sex with my wife right now, is that something appropriate to say to them? Or should I be taking that up with you?
I mean, I feel like at this point, if you're looking
That's
for...
not true, by the way.
No,
but
if you are looking for a certain type of attention or you're trying to go viral or something...
Why would I do that?
I don't know, but some people do things
some people
like that.
hang their spouses out to dry trying to get themselves
attention, right?
Why would
Maybe
you do that?
Because people want attention. People are hungry for attention.
Well, that's a little too
In this day and age, people will go through or go to extreme lengths to get viewers to watch what they have to say.
Right.
If that means that they have to air out their spouse or make themselves look like a damn fool on social media, that's what they're going to do, because as long as you're watching and as long as they have those numbers, that's all that counts.
But is it too much? Can you ever say too much?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you have the right opportunity and they really want it raw, no chaser, and you think that you can really impact certain people, then yeah. But personally, you and I, we both know that some of our very personal issues, we do not talk about it on social media. We don't.
Don't you think that's the way married couples should be? There's some sanctity left in the marriage, some covenant left.
That's how we operate.
But aren't all marriages covenant and sanctified and have a sanctuary for both of them?
I think they all to a certain degree, but what their filter is different from ours. And what they feel that they can get away with or what they can say is different from what we feel. We're a little bit more conservative when it comes down to those things, but not in other ways.
You know what? Show me a married couple, maybe some out there going to view this live chat, that y'all can say anything you want and still remain happily married. I don't understand how you can air out somebody's personal issue that you have with your one and only wife that you're supposed to forsake all others for, but for somehow you feel it's okay to say some deeply, intensely personal thing out for complete millions and millions of strangers to hear and judge you on, and think that you can do that once or 100 times and think that y'all can survive that, because then now you're instantly being judged for something somebody else would never even know.
Well, right, but people interpret things different ways, so you don't know how whatever you're going to say is looked at. But I just think at that point, some people just don't give a damn, Ronald. They just don't care.
You should give a damn about your marriage.
You should, and we do, but there's a certain type of couple out there that just does not, and maybe they're doing it to get, the numbers, and maybe they do have certain things that they don't talk about, which you would think that certain things that they expose is, wow, this is so out there, but that might still be like really simple, it may not be as big to them, as it is to us. personally, when it comes down to certain things that you talk about intimately I personally don't get into that, and I never would. But there is a certain couple or type of couple that will do that. And, you know,
but we would love for you guys out there to share this with a couple that you think just lets everything hang out. The husband be talking about how his wife stinks sometime, and the wife talks about the husband can't read. You know, whatever. Something that we would never know unless they opened up their mouth. Sort of like the famous couple, the basketball player and the wife. We would have never known that until she said that.
But people do.
But we do. I do. Going back to that couple, I know everybody wants to be acknowledged and patted on the head for something that they do. They normally just aren't trying to put it out there like, hey, it's nice to be hollered at. We all know that. Women like to be hollered at from a certain type of guy in a certain type of way. We all know that. But did she have to hang it out there like that? I don't know.
Well, I will say this. Her husband, of that particular controversial issue that my husband is talking about, supported her on social media. Mm-hmm. So obviously, whatever it is she said, he didn't have a problem with it the way the rest of the world.
Because he didn't put it out there like she did. He could have been running around throwing pots and pans and hitting her with telephone. Well, you have no idea what really happened, but what he did is what she should have did. Supported her publicly and took it up with her privately.
Well, maybe that's what they did.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the way you do it.
But I just think that right now, when it comes down to social media, people are just exposing everything. They're doing whatever it is they can do to get attention. Everybody trying to be somebody. We all trying to be something. We're all trying to, make our impact on the world in somehow. And if we could have our little moment on social media to just get on our soapbox and talk about our views. Mm-hmm. That's what some people, or that's what we're going to do, And for some
social
people,
is good for that.
They just don't
but
have.
It's too much is what I'm saying.
It's too much. I think it can be, but at the same time, there are couples who don't feel the way we do.
Well, it's like with single people, I think they can go a lot further because they're not responsible to anybody. They don't have anybody's, oath and secrets and vows and covenant. So, they go a little further. But married couples, it's like there's a certain level of sanctity, a certain level of trust you have between two people. And if you start to betray that trust, how do you keep going?
I will say this. I tend to take, sexy pictures at time on social media, which some of the pictures you have taken. Mm-hmm. And I tend to share that with, my followers. Could it be a little much for some people? Yes. They'll say, why are you married? Why are you trying to appear this way? Because I am showing
That's a good point.
myself in some of my proudest moment and some of my images, because I know one day I won't be this age anymore. I may not have this body or whatever you call it anymore. And this is something to just kind of archive and share. That's why I do it. And based on my business, some of it is dealing with being confident, being sexy, just kind of really just not being inhibited in any way. And some of my photos show that. But there is a certain female who thinks you should be way more modest than what I'm showing.
That's my whole point with what you just said. With all the pictures you've taken, and some of them I've taken. Remember, our baby shower shot, you were completely naked.
Yeah.
I took the shot. So my point here is, it's not that you do it. And it's not that she felt that way. Is that you don't go out and beg for dudes to go, hey, how does my ass look in this shot?
Well, I would never say that.
So that would take it over. It wouldn't even be about the shot. It's about what you said to get attention for the shot. That's what would be my problem. So, of course, if you got your spread eagle and you licking yourself, I would be like, no, that's not a tasteful shot. But there's classy and sexy is what you are, is why I married you. And I don't have any problem with that. And by the way, from what I hear from you and what I've seen, dudes that comment on your photos, they're very respectful. They just say you're beautiful and you're sexy and they like the shot. And that's all fine with me. I know who I married. I don't want nobody that nobody else don't think is beautiful and gorgeous and all that. So far it's been fine. Nothing overly too showy. Nobody's commented crazy. And most of all, you haven't been verbally begging for people to like you. You know, you just are who you are, and you put it out there, and people like it. And that's what I think should happen organically.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think?
We would definitely love to know.
Comment. You know, it's going to be up for a little while. We're definitely going to put it on our YouTube channel. We're here discussing issues in marriage, problems in marriage. Not only that, but the good things about marriage.
Okay, let's
And here
talk.
every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. is Winning at Life Together, Caprice and Ronald Burrell.
Yes,
See
and
y'all.
please join us.